Fakes left, now taken off. Gonna run for it, got it! There it goes! The 6 or the 10 to 5! Oh, the play of the year in the NFL!
Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 20 of the Buds Mafia podcast. Quick little delay there. Sorry about that. Nice little Sunday afternoon following a big Oilers dub. As you know, me and Jackson are now big Oilers fans. Before we get to that, how was your weekend? Was it nice? We had a little short week last week. How was your weekend this time?
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. Not too much happened. Worked till 11 on Friday. Yeah, other than that, yesterday, didn't really do much. Went over, saw Taylor's nap. Well, she had surgery, so went over and saw her. She's doing good. Other than that, not much. Went and saw some puppies today. Taylor's family's getting a new puppy. So it's huge. Portuguese water dog. Yeah, not much else. What about you?
I didn't do much. We just watched the Oilers game, watched them take a big Game 2 dub. I watched it with my girlfriend and my family. Then yesterday, I went to Toronto to see Nick. I had a friend, our university friend was in town, so we went out in the town. Again, I like Toronto, but sometimes I'm not a big crowded space guy. And near the end of the night, I just wanted to go home. Like I'm also a sweaty fuck. I sweat like crazy. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just me. It probably is just me. Some of these clubs, like I swear, it's a sauna. They turn the heat up like crazy. And I'm just drenched in there. Nick and Luke, his name was Luke. We left, and I was like, hey, I'll go grab a beer somewhere else. And they kind of wanted to go back. I'm like, have an Uber home. I found an Uber back home from Toronto for like less than $60. I'm like, I'm going to take an Uber. And they went back in. Even though like Nick looked like he hated it the entire time, as soon as we left, he's like, oh, I want to go back in because he saw like hundreds of people coming back in. I'm like, that's for you guys. That's not for me.
Nick's also
I don't like being side by side. I just hate
Nick's
that.
a little guy, like you're a lot taller than me, but the same kind of size. Like it's not fun.
It's just, I don't like being side by side. I don't mind clubs. If I'm really drunk, I don't mind clubs, but I was at that kind of peak where I was having a bunch of beers and it was going good, but then like, it just wasn't my vibe.
You had a plateau, yeah.
And I just fall asleep in the Uber. But it was a good week. I'm starting for the gym. I was just doing like incline walking because I was trying to lose weight, but now like I feel like weak. So I'm going back on weight. So I went on to start this new weight program. And I've gone to the gym, but now I can barely walk. My whole body is sore. Back on that grind. I didn't golf at all this week. I may hit the range sometime this week. I always want to go to the fucking just chipping and putting green and just work on my short game because that's what's been killing me. I've just been sculling the fuck out of these chips on the green side. So I got to work on that because it's free, right? Just drop 5 balls and just do that. I go later at night, so it's not too busy, like before sundown. But yeah, that was my week.
Yeah,
I guess you couldn't have golf this week. You're in the afternoon.
No, I was on afternoons. Yeah. All right. Other than that, too, not much else.
All right, let's dive into this. We're in the conference finals. When we last talked, I think there wasn't a game yet. So we have 3 games each. We have 3 games each to talk about for this series. We'll talk about the more boring one and kind of the one that has the most controversy, I'd say. So maybe it's not fucking boring. It's contradicting myself. Florida, Carolina. I think we both picked Carolina. I think we both picked Florida. I said Florida in 6. I don't know what you said.
You said Florida in 7.
Did I say 7? Jesus
and
Christ.
I said Florida in 6.
Yeah, we're both idiots. I'm more
than 7. It's sweep again. Carolina just fucking
I don't know what
stinks.
happened to them. I saw this. I got to find this stat. They did something where it was like... they've lost 14 conference finals games in a row since 2009. Unbelievable. I don't know if it was the Score or someone. They posted like what those would be in like casino odds or something like that. Like kind of compared to that. Like it was like in roulette rolling 3 green zeros in a row. It was just it's unbelievable.
I even started we went out yesterday. Did some stuff in the morning, went and looked at a wedding venue. I'm getting married. Went and looked at a wedding venue. I think we might have found the one. And then we went back over to her parents' house, watched a movie. And then the game started and we were sitting there and I was like, man, Carolina kind of came out flying. Like Florida had some chances, but Kuchekov or Kuznetsov, what's the
goalie?
Yeah.
Kuchekov.
Like, he looked good. Like, he's stopping a bunch of stuff. Then I left around like 8:30, or we left around like 8:30, got home. I was dead tired. The first week of going back on the afternoons kills me. I just can't sleep well. And I was dead tired. I went to bed at like 9. And I wake up in the morning, I check the score, and I'm not going to lie. I thought it was going to be like maybe 4-3 Carolina, just 6-2. Like,
It's insane. Yeah.
I think at this point, like, Edmonton and Dallas both look good. Don't get me wrong. They both look good. I think Edmonton, it's tough. I think they would both give Florida a good run for their money in the Cup final, but Florida is just a well-oiled machine that you've heard
perfect.
that a million times over the last few weeks.
Yeah.
But good Lord, especially adding Marchand eating a blizzard during the second intermission.
That's disrespectful. It's crazy,
unbelievably
but
disrespectful.
I love it.
Yeah, it's just they look, I don't know, they look horrible.
I don't get it. Like we were talking again, I think we said it's mid-season, going to playoffs. Of those 3 top teams that have never really proved much, like Winnipeg, Washington, Carolina, which one are frauds? I think I kept changing my answer. Oh, Washington are frauds, Winnipeg are frauds. I think at the end of the day, right now, the fraud squad is Carolina. Like, it's crazy. They get to the conference finals every single year, and the thing is that they're playing the same way they play against in the first 2 rounds. But again, they played New Jersey, a beat-up New Jersey team that they took to 6 games. They played a Washington team that's more kind of a slower Florida. Yeah. They're very physical. They're not fast, but they don't really have the skill that Florida has. They're kind of
they just don't have the same forechecking that Florida
No, they
has.
don't. It's just more like Tom Wilson kind of runs and guns. But forecheck, it's a very timely forecheck. Like, they know what they're doing. Where Washington's kind of just smacking you around, but at the end of the day, they don't really have the best with the puck. And just Carolina, so game one is Florida's dominated. Carolina came out fast. I thought the first 10 minutes of the period, they looked really good. And then I don't think in Carolina's defensive zone, I don't think Florida has not capitalized on a good turnover. Every single turnover, it seems like Florida scores. They cannot make mistakes.
The first and second game, if you turn SportsCenter on, all it was highlights of Carolina turning the puck over and immediately Florida scoring.
Immediately. It's crazy. And just, I don't know. And Rod the Bod is dumbfounded. I think he said after last night, he said, Marner and Stahl are great players, but they can't be our best players. And that's 100%.
Yeah, that's true.
Aho is Kachuk's just getting in Aho's head. Svechnikov's had an incredible playoffs, and now he is just nowhere to be found. Jarvis got on the board last night, but he's not doing too much. It's just, and in that first game, the fucking Goss's Bear and Marchand thing was hilarious.
That was.
So Marchand took a run at Goss's Bear, which was definitely took a run at him, but it's not like it doesn't happen every game. And Goss's Bear just teed up a clapper right at Marchand. It was so deliberate. And I don't blame Marchand for losing. It's cool. And then I think game 2, Florida was all over Goss's Bear. And just, again, Carolina, they're fast. They have some skill, obviously. I mean, you have to have this to go to the conference finals, but they're just not that team. They're not a winning team.
I won't lie. I think if they play Ottawa in the first round, they lose to Ottawa.
I agree. So I've always been against going back to the 1v8 playoff format because there was 2 years in a row where the format 1v8 versus the division, there was no difference, which sometimes can happen. But longevity, that doesn't make a lot of sense. If you think about it this year, so Florida's a team that they obviously had injuries and they kind of had some hiccups throughout the season, but they're get to the playoffs, worry about it then. They don't really care where they finish. I don't know. I don't think I've seen them lose on home ice besides Toronto game 6. I don't think they've lost on home ice. Or sorry, I don't think they've lost away. It's just they're perfect.
They seem to just like to let the fans down at home.
It's
other
crazy.
Than this series, but
it's crazy.
It seemed like every single game they won against the Leafs was in Toronto.
Yeah, and it's so if you went to the 1v8 format, which it was for most of our us growing up, basically before that, 1v8. So I've been Washington, Montreal, which standard. 2 is Toronto. We'd play New Jersey first round, which I think we would wax them, especially how they took Carolina games against Carolina like shit. Third was Tampa. They play Ottawa, and I don't know. I think Ottawa could especially how Tampa played against.
Yeah, I think they give
Florida.
them I think we
that's
talked
7.
about it a ton. Like, I think Ottawa the next coming years is going to be good, and even the way
It's
they
not
play
good for the Atlantic. That's why it's the Atlantic Division absolutely shits on the Metro. The Metro sucks, and I thought the Metro after last season, the Metro would be running the league because New Jersey just cannot get healthy at the right time. Like Jack Hughes has always just been hurt. And I think they'll bounce back. Who would have thought New York would have missed the playoffs? The Rangers. Obviously, Pittsburgh's a dumpster fire. I mean, your best team's Carolina, and they're frauds. And obviously, Washington too, but they're kind of frauds as well. And again, so Carolina, Florida, if we go win the 1v8, that would be the first round matchup. And that's this. I mean, this seems like a first round matchup, like this fucking sweep is going to look out to be like. And I mean, people can argue all they want. I think Toronto, if it was 1v8, would still play Florida in the second round because Florida finished like 5th. But I don't know. It's just, I don't know what's happened with Carolina. This happens every single year. There's no, I cannot see a world where Florida doesn't sweep them and go back to go to their third straight conference, or third straight Stanley Cup final. I just cannot see it in the books. Hopefully Mikola's okay because this fucking Mikola guy's a horse. He doesn't look good skating, but he gets points. He had 2 goals last night, and he's a truck. He is so big. And I remember he was bruising our Leafs forwards. I remember him and Knies going at it, which was a good battle, but didn't look too good, but I think he'll be okay. Obviously, Reinhart got hurt in game 2. That didn't look good. Hopefully he's back. I do like Sam Reinhart a lot. And obviously Kachuk was getting all over for that.
I think it's just Florida has almost like just such another next man up kind of attitude that it's gonna hurt them. But like if they do complete a sweep, or say even that they win in 5 instead of 4, like
gentlemen's sweep.
I still think this Edmonton Dallas game is Dallas series is at least going 6 or 7.
I don't know, dude. We'll talk about that, but for sure. And Florida, like you said, next man up, like Jesper Buckfist, he's missed some games in playoffs to being scratched, and he looked insane last night. And like that's your 12th forward. Like it's crazy. Their defense is awesome. And just watching their Florida game makes me want Bennett to be a Leaf even more. My dad hates him. My dad's never hated anyone more than Kachuk. He hates Kachuk. He thinks what he does every game should be suspendable. Which a lot of the time he does do some like he headhunts and he truly tries to hurt people. I don't think I think he truly tries to hurt people sometimes. He will get in your head and you got knock on him. He's about to go to his third Stanley Cup final in a row. But I'm iffy, but I definitely like Brady a lot more than Matthew. And I definitely would rather ride on Brady more than Matthew. But yeah, Florida, they're well built. And Bobrovsky, again, people are so high on him. I don't even think he's have to make too many crazy saves. He just makes the right saves, and they only allow like 20 shots a game. Like, and he saves 19 of them, right? Like, it's just that's all it is.
Yeah, I don't. It's crazy.
If people are watching this series, I want people to relax about wanting to keep the core together because of this series. I think that's ridiculous. I've calmed down of my Marner videos last few weeks have gotten a lot of views and I got some comments. Most people agree with me. Some guy said he wouldn't even pay Marner $6 million. That's ridiculous to me. I think I said 8x8 in that video. I think that was obviously exaggeristic. That was the day after Game 7. I think he's a 100-point guy. Yeah. To me, again, he's still not worth 13, but if they figured out something else, but I don't think he's taking anything less than 13.
It's so tough. And like, especially for Marner as well, people will continually bring up the statistics of like how many points he has, where he is in the all-time points for Leafs and everything like that.
Yeah.
We've even said it. We've sung his praises of like he probably.
I still say he's one of the best Leafs of all time. He's top 5 in regular season and playoff points, right?
But like you look at it and it's not producing. You're not getting results. You're not going to continue to keep people together just because of the fact that it's the core 4 and you get to the playoffs every year, but you lose in round 1 and round 2. Like I don't want another 5 years of, we can get through round 1, but the Leafs can't get through round 2.
Yeah,
You know
well,
what I
I'm
mean?
chirping.
Like,
I'm sitting here chirping Carolina, but at least they make it to the third round every single year. Like it's
it seems like every single year they have the
yeah,
easiest fucking path to the goddamn conference
and it's
final.
just yeah,
We
and it's
talked about that
just
at the beginning of the year too, like what their odds were, and then we went through it. Like they played New Jersey, who was a hurt team, and I think if you put a healthy New Jersey up there, they'd probably give them more of a run for their money.
Yeah,
I still think Carolina might come out with it, but. And then they played Washington, and I really thought Washington was going to take that
I
series.
thought. I think we both had Washington. I had Washington like 7.
But I think it was just Washington was slow, and they're so fast. But the thing that Carolina, I think, and the same thing that the Leafs struggle with is the forecheck that Florida has is relentless. They are on you no matter what. And Paul Maurice said it after the series. He's like, we want to hit them every single play. So the time we get to a game 7, they've got
nothing
no
left. Yeah. Like Tanev and McCabe, I've been singing their praise, but game 7, they gave it their all, but they were gassed. Like I was a defenseman, I didn't play high level, but like if you get hit every shift, you can't join the play. You're so exhausted. And like they're just flying in, and you know what? Maybe their goal is not even to get the puck. Where a lot of teams are forechecking, yeah, their first goal is to hit the puck. But Florida sometimes, especially that third, fourth line, they're going right at you. They're not even care about the puck. They know if they'll hit you hard enough, the puck, there could be a turnover, there could be some anxiousness, and they'll get the puck back, right? And I mean, I know at times I've been even saying it's like, oh, like the Leafs could be in the finals if they won the game 7. We don't know. We don't know if we beat Carolina. I think we obviously took Florida to game 7. Likely the only team that'll do that this playoff. Yeah, and a lot of the other comments, like I remember one person said, which I understand, like they said, like, oh, it's gonna be the same thing with Kadri and Kessler when they leave, they win the Stanley Cup and all that. But what I said about that, and he raised a fair point, but when Kadri and Kessel left, we were not a good team when they left. And on Toronto, they were our best players, right? Arguably. Definitely Kessel was when we traded him. With Marner, wherever he signs, he's going to have to be that guy. You can't not be that guy and be getting paid the highest paid contract in the league, right? So if you're getting paid 13 plus the 14 million, even though I love Ivan Shim, I still love Marner, what he's done to the city. I have nothing but love for him, even though he pisses me off a lot. I'll always have love for him. No matter what he gets paid, like 13 and 14, you automatically are that guy. Where Kadri and Kessel, they didn't have to be. That's why they thrived in that role. I think Marner could be an incredible second, third guy, which maybe he is on Toronto, right? With Matthews and maybe with Nylander and obviously Knies. But with salary, you're automatically forced to be that guy. And I think it's almost certain he goes. I think more so, I think he wants to leave. I think he is tired of it. And Tree Living, which we'll talk about management. A lot of the Toronto management stuff happened over the weekend, or at least last week. They offered him the highest paid contract in franchise history, and he said no. I think Tree Living didn't want to wait till playoffs. He was willing to pay that right at that moment, and he said no, right? So, yeah, I think he wants to test the market too. And again, the teams that are going to pay him are Chicago, which great future. They're not making the playoffs anytime soon unless him and Bedard will them to the playoffs. Pittsburgh, obviously, even Crosby would be really good and everything. There's some other pieces, but I cannot see Pittsburgh making the playoffs. I think they're on a down kind of trajectory. I'm hearing LA, which that'd be really good for LA, and maybe that finally gets them over the hump against Edmonton, but you never know. And Utah are another, and Carolina. Those are other teams. Carolina would be the best team that can offer him the most money. But yeah, I think it's a 90% chance he's gone. Test the market July 1. And yeah, but I definitely got some positive vibes from that ending press conference. Knies kind of brushed off the offer sheet kind of rumors. He's like, I love it here. I'm going to stay here. And I think there's no doubt he'll stay here.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think Grinelli talked to Elliot Friedman on the Game Notes podcast, because this would likely be, I mean, people are calling this the summer of offer sheets. There's a lot of good players who are on RFA deals where you can see an offer sheet. Elliot Friedman said he doesn't think that's the case because, again, if you offer sheet someone over 10 million, I think that's 2 first-round picks. And I don't know how it works. I don't know if you can choose which first-round picks. If it's like a 3-year span, you can choose which 2 you want to give out. And Elliot Friedman said teams are scared to do that because of who's coming next season, and that's Gavin McKenna, right? So you got to take that into mind. And I think any offer Toronto would match it, but I also don't see a team offering Knies $10 million out of the gate, right? No. So I think it'll be a bridge. I think it'll be a 3x8 or 3x7.5, which I think both sides would be more than happy. It's like, hey, like I want to see what this core can do, and go on from there. Salary cap going up, and then you can get your big ticket in 3 years. Which hey, $8 million. That's still fair, very fair for how he produced in the playoffs. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. This is gonna be an interesting summer going for the Leaf boys, and obviously they're getting hate for playing golf recently, which is ridiculous. Like we talked about this with the Tua Tagovailoa. I butchered that last name. Tua's workout or his video on the boat partying last summer or whatever. It's like, I think people forget there's 24 hours in a day. He could have been at the gym 4 hours prior. Like players golf, like fuck off.
I also think people forget that they're human beings. It's the same thing. It's like Monday morning quarterbacks. There's some fat fuck who's sitting on his couch. It's just like me when I get mad at the fucking Bills. Yeah. He's sitting on his couch. He's like, I can't believe these guys are out playing golf. It's like, well, what you do on the weekend between your fucking 9 to 5? You went and played golf. These guys now, yes. Does it suck they lost? Yeah. Are they going to go after one of the harder series in the playoffs and immediately go back out on the ice and fucking skate and drill? And is that something that a fucking winner would do? Yeah, probably. But these guys need to fucking also relax. Let them go play golf.
Yeah, fuck. And it was a few days after, like, relax. And we'll get to the Edmonton Dallas series, but since we're still on the topic of Toronto, Matthews hurt. He talked about his injury. He didn't obviously say what it was. He's always been very quiet on his injuries, which I don't mind. It's not no one's business. He was hurt in training camp, and he just played the whole season through it. That made me livid. Honestly, Leafs are a great team. They have superstars. Our record without Matthews, I'm pretty sure, is pretty insane. I think we have a great record.
It's unbelievable. I think we've lost one game.
Yeah, it's rest. Like, sit. Especially if it's the beginning of the year. That's the best time for it.
Yeah.
Like, sit down.
It's so tough as well, though, because, like, the beginning of the year, you haven't really played a ton of competitive hockey right away. You kind of want to get your legs under you, but at the same time, I get where you're coming from. It's like, that's the time.
People still shit on him for the whole Four Nations thing, but no player would ever miss the opportunity for that. So I'll never dog him for wanting to play in that. I never be like, you care more about that or the Leafs. It's like he's representing this country that hasn't happened in years. I'll never even I don't blame anyone.
Neither do I.
And I think Tavares kind of reiterated multiple times he wants to stay. He's already talked to Tree Living in Berube. I think a 2 to 3 year deal for like $6 million, even maybe less, $5 million in the works. Pretty confident on that. You can definitely tell the vibe was different between Tavares and Marner. Marner's like, yeah, we'll see what happens. Where Tavares like, I want to be here. Yeah. So
I think I think we talked about this before with Tavares too. Like, he's older, grew up around here.
Kids are in school.
Are in school. He grew up in Oakville. I know he loves going up north in like Ontario.
Yeah.
I think he's comfortable here. I think there's a lot of guys, whereas like Marner, younger, married,
just had a kid, so he can go anywhere. Yeah.
I think he can keep his roots here, but to move to a market where you're not as under attack. Like, I know he was pretty upset that the media was kind of going after his family. And it is shitty. You are a professional player. You're always going to be in the spotlight. Do I think it's correct or right that people go after your family or people go after this? No, but that's also me saying that when I,
don't have 11 million in the bank.
And also, like, I would literally scream for Tom Brady's head when he was just beating the Bills. So, like, I get where he's coming from, but also at the same time, it's just it's tough to shut out the noise, especially after a loss. But you kind of got to be.
Yeah. And I talked about. I posted a clip of me talking about the Florida guys kind of scapegoating these players. It's year after year. Toronto definitely has pressure. Like, top biggest mecca in the league. They're up there with Montreal. Obviously, all Canadian markets is a bit bigger, right? But they asked. I don't know if you saw the Draisaitl interview before round 3. they asked him, but he's like, yeah, trust me, like in Canada, it's bigger. No matter where you are, it's the number one thing here. There's pressure. The Canada hasn't seen a cup in 30 years. Like, it's pressure. But then he just ended with like, but we handle it pretty good. Like, it's just like, yeah, it's pressure. But when you play good, they worship you. And Marner, he said that previously. It's like, they treat us like gods. It's like, yeah, but I don't know. Even like, it's just.
It's also a lot different. Fucking 6 months out of the year, not much to do outside up here. You just fucking sit inside, watch TV, and watch the snow fucking slowly close in on your goddamn house.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So it's like, all we're going to do is sit and watch hockey and analyze every single thing someone says.
Yeah. Let's see. Pacioretty, unsure about his future. He's getting older. Yeah, I definitely didn't. He loved it in Toronto. He had played some big games for us. I would not despise at all. Bring him back another vet minimum deal. It's kind of more what he wants to do with his future. But I think if he does continue to play, I think it would be in Toronto. But we will see. There's rumors about the Rantanen deal to Toronto. I heard it was likely Knies that would have to be go for Rantanen, not Marner. Well, I heard so Marner did reject the deal, but I don't know. Would it have been Marner and Knies for Rantanen? That's ridiculous. Like I know
that would be ridiculous.
I'm like, trust me. Am I thinking Knies gonna be better than Rantanen? No, but I think Knies gonna be a heck of our player for our future. So I don't know if there's two deals in place, a Marner for Rantanen deal, and then another. I think there's two deals in place. I feel like there was a Marner one because Elliot Friedman did say like Marner did reject the trade offer, and I think then Carolina came back with like a Knies and some picks. And I think Toronto said no, and I think Knies will appreciate that. Be like, no, this is our guy. Obviously, with how Rantanen is playing, it's like fuck. But and Frank Saravalli, who's been he's a very high end kind of trade breaker hockey analysis. He did say he's like very highly like unlikely, but let's see if the Leafs will start hearing offers on Matthews. Let's calm it down here. Obviously I wanted to call for his head, just like Marner a few weeks ago or last week. That's ridiculous. I mean, he only has 3 years left on his deal, so I think it'd be ridiculous to trade him now. He's still one of the best players in the league. Is he at that echelon of McDavid and Draisaitl, these guys? No, but he's still our captain. He's still our guy, and hopefully he gets healthy and kind of tears up the league next year. So that'd be ridiculous. I heard Leafs could pursue Brock Nelson, which I think our biggest issue is depth, and I would love that. I mean, if you look at Florida, even though you can't really consider it third line on paper, Marchand, Lundell, Luster-Ryan third line is pretty ridiculous. Obviously, Brendan Shanahan's out after 11 years, only missing the playoffs the 1 year. I don't know how much he's had to do with the construction of this team. Obviously, he's the president, but he has to deal with a lot of business side of as well.
I think in the early tenure, I think it was a lot more. Yeah. And especially kind of probably before Berube. And like, I think the last few years of Keefe, he probably didn't have quite as much to do with, bringing guys in because you had the core four. But I love what the head of the MLS came out and said, and they basically were saying that, they're going to work very closely with the Leafs, and Berube is going to have a lot more kind of
I love that
wiggle room, and I think that's huge for Berube as well. It shows, like, I think one thing you can take away as a positive from this year. First of all, we made it out of the first round. It sounds dumb as a Leafs fan, but huge. Made it out of the first round. That's huge, especially in the first year. New coach, took Florida to 7. Looks like they're going to go for the 3-peat. Also really big. I think the message that Berube is sending is really huge, and I think the head of the MLSE coming out and saying that we kind of are putting our faith and trust into Tree and Chief is huge.
I like it too. Again, I think Shanahan did a lot for the Leafs. He brought in that, Legends Row. He really, the alumni, like Toronto has such historic alumni, and he kind of made them more involved. The row outside Scotiabank. Like, I think he did a lot of good things. I mean, I don't know how much he had involved with the Marner and Matthews deals early on, but again, he locked up our superstars. Obviously, no trade clauses and everything like that. Shorter deals, more money, like not the best, but I'm sure it wasn't all him, and Dubas had a lot to do with it as well. So we'll see. He is likely to become the president of the Islanders, I'm hearing. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, I think we can get to go into the Edmonton-Dallas series where, to
Let's
me,
talk about game one. Let's just talk about
yeah,
game one.
to me, dude, like game 1 to 3, I think 90% of the games, Edmonton to me has dominated. I think 5-on-5, they have been the way better team. It's just game 1 dominated 5-on-5, stupid penalties going into the third. You can't give a team like Dallas top power play, fresh ice on a power play. And they rifled off, and Edmonton choked, and they easily could be up 3-0 in the series right now. To me,
It was so wild. So I was at work, and I was sitting loading a truck full of steel, and I'm sitting there, huge, love it. Nowhere I'd rather be on a Tuesday night or a Wednesday night or whenever it was. Anyway, sitting there and look down at my phone, 3-2. But probably an hour and a half goes by. Sitting there, I'm like, man, I haven't really checked on the score. Like, it was busy. I was like, I haven't really checked on the score. I had a few minutes of downtime. Quickly check my phone. And I look over at my one coworker and I go, guess what the score is? He goes 4-3 Dallas. I go, yeah, try 6-3 Dallas. Try 5 unanswered goals. Try 5 unanswered goals in the third period. I'm not gonna lie. I felt so bad for Emerson. Unbelievably bad. Yeah, I did. I really did.
We've been texting nonstop during games because he doesn't like texting Owen during the games because Owen will just make fun of him. Where I am full on like, oh, like I'm like when they score, I'm cheering like I did for the Leafs. Like I'm full on like I'm Team Canada. Like I want like fucking Edmonton to win, right? And again, 5-on-5. Like I think McDavid and Draisaitl were flying game 1. Like they were buzzing, and again, it's the power plays. Duchesne had kind of a flop in game 1, the high stick that wasn't even close to hitting his head, and he flicked back. But yeah, that was a tough one. But then, dude, Stuart Skinner, I don't even get it. Like, he's either prime Patrick Waugh or like Montreal Peter Dubai or Budai. Like, it's crazy. Like, then he goes into Dallas, has a shutout in game 2, and just again, 5-on-5 to me, the whole series so far, Edmonton has just looked so much better. I don't know what you think on that. They look unbelievable.
No, they look unbelievably dominant. Obviously, I haven't been able to watch too many of the games because I've been at work. And if I'm being completely honest, I'm Team Canada. I want the Oilers to win. I've never been so focused on the Buffalo Bills. I've never been so focused
Hard
on the
knocks,
NFL.
baby.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah. I'm juiced for that. But yeah,
but like I really, the first game, you know what? The first game reminded Emerson's gonna hate this. I really hope he doesn't listen to this. But the first game reminded me of like Montreal Washington. It felt like during the Montreal Washington series, Montreal outplayed Washington, and obviously the scoring wasn't crazy, and like Montreal wasn't up 3-1 going into the third. But it felt like they outplayed them, and then out of nowhere, Washington just came back and won. Yeah. And this, when I looked at my phone, I shit you not, I was standing on a truck and I went, holy fucking shit. I could not believe it. And you guys were texting in the group chat and I was like, man, this sucks. I can't fucking watch the game. But then game 2, it was like, I really think we're going to have a repeat. I really do. I do think Dallas is going to push it to 7. The only reason being, I really do think Dallas is good. And I think that they can find their groove. I have a feeling that they could win game 4. But also at the same time, like I think that the Oilers could win in 5 or 6. And I think you took the Oilers in 6. I took the Oilers in 7.
Yeah, I honestly think Edmonton's going to win game 4 at home again. Like again, one of the best home ices in the league. I don't know if you watched the ending of the game today. Yeah. Like McDavid was even saying, like, this is unbelievable. And I think Dallas will sneak a game 5, and then at home, you're not beating Edmonton at home. And just today, like
today was wild. The back-to-back, we literally got to the hospital to go visit Taylor's Nana. And I looked down at my phone because we had gone to see the puppies out in Georgetown. And I looked down at my phone and I look at Taylor's dad and I go, Edmonton just scored 2 goals in 36 seconds. And he looks at me and he goes, yeah, I'm sorry, we're not at home, buddy. I was like, well, that's okay. But like when they get rolling, and that's why I thought game 1 was a lock, because they looked rolling. They were 5-on-5 dominating. McDavid and Draisaitl looked unreal. And then the penalties just killed them. But game 2, unbelievable. And then today was just.
I've also Edmonton, like they've been known to like giving up goals, but always just outscoring the other team. This is the best I've ever seen a team in recent years play the best hockey down the stretch of a game. Like they're not panicking, they're not throwing pucks off the glass. Like they are winning these games late in the periods. Like, what's the biggest thing that you see when a team's up and they need to close it out? They're not taking chances. Offensively, they're pretty timid. Edmonton is playing the same game. They're playing first minute of period 1, the last minute of period 3. They're playing. It's very similar to Florida. They do not stop. And it's defensively, they're so defensively sound. Wallman and Klingberg have played phenomenal together, which I wish we had that Klingberg when we had it in Toronto. But I'm so happy to see him playing well. And hopefully Connor Brown's okay. Took a big hit from Petrovic today, and they need him back. But again, it's just their depth.
It's
I've
just
talked
so
about Emerson for
worrying.
years. If they have depth in solid goaltending, which right now they're getting MVP level goaltending. I mean, Dallas had like almost 40 shots today. I don't know what team can beat them, and they look better than last year. So we're setting up a hell of a Stanley Cup final rematch if that's the case. Still early, or at least for one series, it's still early. But yeah,
Let me tell you, it's just worrying. Because I'm not gonna lie,
I feel bad for them if they lose again. That's what I'll feel.
I can see it. I can see it, and I have faith in Edmonton. I really want Edmonton to win, but I can really see it kind of. I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's no. I don't think it's gonna start like that. But I can see it heartbreaking fashion.
A big thing that's huge, though, and let me double check. I think
Edmonton would get home ice.
Yes, yeah, I think, which is huge.
That's giant, especially to start the first 2 games.
Because I think Florida only won the one game they only won the one game on the road last year.
But the problem is Florida on the road this year.
Well, Florida's the same team away and home. They don't again, I chirp their fans. They probably the worst fan base of these Final Four teams, like atmosphere wise. If you watch Dallas, Edmonton, even Carolina, so to them, like every game's the exact same. Like they don't feel a difference.
I won't lie to you. The Carolina series, when I watched that game the other day, fans were a lot more into it.
They're getting more. They're getting more for sure.
But it's more like I feel like it's like being would be like being a Patriots fan watching the fucking divisional round game when Tom Brady was just absolutely
47. Yeah,
it's like you're not going to be excited once you get to the Super Bowl. Super exciting, but you know,
no, I agree. But yeah, I'm pretty confident Edmonton closing this out. And I wanted the game we kind of skipped over. I forgot in game 2, the slash on Rupe Hintz. So Rupe Hintz, he went to warm-ups in game 3, but he was slow and he just could not play. So when it first happened, I was like, you're a bitch, you're flopping. And trust me, I've been slashed everywhere you can imagine. I thought it got him middle of the shin pad, and I'm like, how the hell are you going down? And even slow motion, it still looks like it gets him in the shin pad, but apparently it got him right on top of the laces, which you can you can break a foot from doing that. So I'm pretty sure he probably has like a hairline fracture in his foot from that slash.
I don't know. I like many times on this podcast, I've never played hockey. When I saw the replay, I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me that you need help off the ice. And then I listened to someone break it down and I was like, I'd probably be crying. I'd be in tears.
I think Biz was thinking should be 5. Even though a hard slash, no matter what, even though I'm kind of dying down on the flop at all, obviously, because obviously he didn't play today. No matter what, to me, that's not a 5-minute. Like it's a slash. That's the definition of a slash.
You could tell
hard slash.
You could tell as well, like he kind of cross-checked him in the back a little bit.
Yeah.
And then that's when the slash came back.
Yeah.
I don't think he was targeting him to hit there. I don't think it's pretty, unless you're an absolute accurate slasher, which would be unbelievable. Like, I don't think you can, like, specifically
the Boris comments are ridiculous, too. Like you said, that was McDavid. I mean, Rupe Hintz is one of your star forwards, so they clearly still called it. I mean, I get the frustration, but
it does. I understood where he's coming from, though. Like, if it was Connor McDavid, you're going to be, even if it was Rantanen now, like, if it was Rantanen, you know, it may make a difference. But.
Yeah, so we'll see.
I don't know.
I get it's early on. You never know. Dallas is a great team. They beat fucking Colorado and Winnipeg, so they're definitely not out of it. 2-1.
You also never know with Carolina. I don't see it happening, but you never
They're
know.
done. They're done.
Yeah, they're dusted.
But yeah, I don't know if you have any more thing else on hockey. I'm excited. So tomorrow, well, this is recording on Sunday, so we just watched Game 3. I like the conference finals, so you don't have to worry about too many games in one day. It's just every other day game at 8 o'clock, or at least during the week. Obviously, today's 3:30 game was a lot of fun to watch, but every other day you're gonna get an 8 o'clock game, which is a lot of fun. So I'm excited for that. Ready to transition over to some NFL. I don't really have much. I kind of put some kind of dot
There's
shots
not.
here.
We'll start. I'll start with the Bills on Hard Knocks. Now, let me tell you, I like it. I do. I want to watch it. I'm excited. I don't think our team needs more publicity, and Bills fans may, be upset about it, but I really don't. I think this is a year where we kind of just, and I feel like every year we kind of just put our head down, especially last year. I don't think Hard Knocks is great. I never really watch a ton of it. I'm more of just, I like to sit down on Sunday, Thursday, and Monday, not in that order, Thursday, Sunday, Monday, and watch the games. I don't really, the only press conferences I watch are Bills games, and the only time I ever watch them is after they win a game. After they lose a game, I'm a sore loser. Let me tell you, starting this podcast out of football season, really good. People are going to see how crazy I am when it comes to football season. I think people got a hint of that. Real quick, I told Ryan at the beginning that I was going to not apologize, but to the Eagles fans in the comments, saying, they're going to wallop us. I said, yes, I think we can beat the Eagles. I think that game being at home is going to be huge. Obviously, you didn't have Saquon last time we played the Eagles. Still a crazy game. Eagles fans are not a fandom that I want to go against at all. Up there, probably a better fandom. I wouldn't say better. Not a little Buds Mafia. Maybe a little bit more, pushy. But, I think the Bills being at home, I think that game's going to be close. I think it's going to be closer than people kind of deem. The fact that I think week 17 is huge. That by the time that happens, you never know what's going to happen with injuries. I don't want any player to get injured. I want to play like a well-oiled Eagles team, which I think we will. But you never know when it comes to week 17. I'm hoping the Bills will have the division locked up at that point and just be kind of, cruising to a first-round bye. But yeah, so kind of small NFL news. They deemed the Tush Push okay. Again, we've talked about this ad nauseum. The only thing I didn't like, and I think that we talked about that when the Washington played the Eagles, was the fact that the ref said, if the Eagles player or the Washington defense keeps jumping offside, we will award a touchdown. Stay the fuck out of my football game, you dumb official. Yes, officials are a part of a football game. They make calls. Are they stupid sometimes? The funny thing is that the Packers were the ones who were kind of heading up the vote. And I think I saw a thing that was like 22-10, the vote was. And I think when the Eagles beat the Packers, the score was 22-10. So that's funny.
I know Matt LaFleur has been very vocal about it. Like he hates it.
Well, you know what? When you got Jordan Love for your quarterback and you can't really, I think the Packers are going to be good. No offense to Joey Colcuts. I think the Packers are going to be good. I think the NFL is just, like we talked about before, there's no way to ban that play, in my opinion. Yeah. There's no way to ban that play without going further down the line. And then when a running back is running down the field, gets kind of caught up, and then an O-lineman comes in and pushes him. Well, now, is that play banned? Can you no longer allow any type of pushing? Like, there are a lot of teams that do it, and there's a lot of teams that, succeed. Just no one succeeds like the Eagles. They do it in a way where, first of all, they have one of the heaviest O-lines in the entire NFL, if not the heaviest O-line in the entire NFL. I like what Jason Kelce came out and said. I thought that was huge. He came out and was like, if you could tell me that I could come back and do 80 tush pushes, 80 yards down the field, and that's the only way I was going to play football in the NFL, I would come back and do it. They're concerned about player safety and everything like that. I think the statistics don't show that it's crazy for injuries. Realistically, like, you're more at risk as a receiver running a crosser across the middle and getting absolutely destroyed by a defensive back than lining up literally 2 inches away from each other and just plowing into each other. Obviously, there's going to be injuries that come from it, but I think banning that play, you can't. Just because one team is unbelievable at it and it's guaranteed. I think the passing percentage, I think that on New Heights, the podcast with Travis and Jason Kelsey, they call them the 92 percenters because it was a 92% conversion rate or something like that. Yes, it's going to work. There's just like the Bills. The Bills this year, they don't run it the same way. The Eagles take a running back, a tight end, line them up right behind Jalen Hurts, grab one ass cheek and fucking push them forwards, and they have everyone on the line. Amazing. The Bills take one running back, line them up behind Josh Allen because Josh Allen is 6'4", 240 or whatever he is. They think he's going to push it further. Like, yeah, cool. But, Jalen Hurts is also a big guy, also a really good quarterback. Maybe throw someone else behind him. So, yeah, I don't know. I think the Packers just need to win some more football games and stop focusing on what other teams are doing, and that's going to make some Packers fans mad. But there you go, Eagles fans. I do not agree with what the Packers did. I don't know. What do you think about it? Do you think that it should be banned? Like, I think we've talked about it so much that it's like there's nothing you can do.
I think if they didn't win, we wouldn't be talking about it. But they've lost these past years. They haven't won the Super Bowl every single year that they've been doing the push to. I just think this year, obviously with Saquon, it worked out perfectly. Yeah, I just don't know how you would kind of get rid of it, right? So
that's the thing. Teams want to say that that's the reason to their success. Oh, not like they had
best defense in football as well, right?
One of the best defenses in football. A guy who ran for over 2,000 yards. An amazing, aside from some other locker room antics, an amazing locker room surrounding them. But yeah, I think overall.
Well, Saquon, he came out and said he thinks they were a top 5 team ever.
We'd have to take some time to do some research, but
Yeah, I mean, there's some teams that won 3 years in a row and stuff like that. So I mean, it's early, but I mean, on paper, it's numbers don't lie, but it's a little early.
It's a little early. You go to the Super Bowl 3 times in a row. You can call yourself, I hate to say it. I hate the Chiefs. Hate Patrick Mahomes. Go win 7 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
If we're talking year, maybe one of the better years, considering the way they started and everyone wanted Sirianni fired, and then he shaved his head, and then he was yelling at fans, and then the amount of adversity they faced, and then to go into the Super Bowl and beat the Chiefs in the way that you did, I think you could put them up there for sure. Yeah, I like this. I thought this was kind of going to be a go-ahead from the get-go as the NFL players competing in the Olympics. I like it. Like,
that quarterback who plays, I guess, who's
Greg Doucette or whatever his name is.
Yeah, and he is just. By the way, I don't blame these players for not being unhappy with it. I don't blame them at all. They're like, hey, we've been grinding this for years. We're finally getting our shot. But they also can't say you're better than Patrick Mahomes. I think that's ridiculous. But I also don't blame them for being upset about this because, again, this is what their sport they've been grinding for years and waiting for.
Watch some of his highlights, and let me tell you, when you were talking about flag football, is obviously it's football, but it's different.
He has a weird throwing motion.
He throws.
He kind of like pushes it. Yeah, it's weird. It's different.
But you're telling me you're not going to go in there with Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, like Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Well, if it's me, I'm going Lamar Jackson QB1. You're telling me that some fucking guy from Germany is going to stop Lamar Jackson when he gets rushed?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. They have trouble tackling him. Try and get a fucking flag off his body.
I think we love QB1, Josh Allen, but I think elusiveness, everything, like Lamar would toy with guys in flag football.
What I would do, I'd rotate. Say, sure, you guys want? Go ahead. Go.
Yeah. I can't wait for them to be like the tryout for this, and they show highlights of the current flag football, and then Lamar Jackson just running around them.
You know what? It'll be interesting too, because I think Canada can put together an okay roster. You know, like there's some really good defensive players who play in the NFL. There's some good Canadians too, man, who play in the CFL. Do I think they're going to beat the Americans?
We should go. I mean, I don't know around the world, but we should definitely make or get a medal, or at least make it to the semis or something.
I think we can get. Well, I mean, if you look at any,
you'd hope.
So a couple of guys we used to play with, they had a Canadian men's senior team, and they went to France and played like some exhibition games against some of these nations, and the scores were not pretty. I think we beat Japan like 56-0.
I don't even know like another nation, and that's not much trying to be disrespectful. I still don't know another nation that would be good. Like,
well, so here's an interesting. So when I played like university football, and then I decided that I was getting injured too much. I kind of wanted to focus on university. COVID hit. I was kind of done. I was looking. I was working at a gym, and there was this guy there who was wearing like a Guelph Griffins football shirt, and I was like asking him, talking to him about when he was playing and everything like that. And then he told me that he went to Germany to play football. And I was like, oh, how the fuck does that work? I didn't even know that they had American football in Europe. And basically, I don't know if it's still this way. I'm sure that probably is, but you would contact the coach, contact the team. Obviously, you have to send them a highlight tape, but they pay for your apartment, they pay for your phone, transportation, everything like that. They're just trying to grow the game of football. And that's why the NFL is going to all these different places. Anyway, it's really interesting. But overall, you're telling me that Team Brazil is going to go out there and stop Tyreek Hill. By the way, I don't know if you saw Tyreek Hill apparently was at Nelson High School in Burlington. Supposedly, yes. No, right. Whatever. Other than that, Jim Irsay, Colts owner, passed away. He's 65.
Yeah, it's pretty. He's young. Apparently, he was loved. I don't know. I brought it. I don't know much about him, obviously, but apparently, he was very loved around the community and everything.
I think a lot of the media kind of come out of the last year of him going down to talk to the team and all this, that, and the other. And I just don't think he was shown in the right way. But I think overall, the fans loved him, obviously, And the Colts organization, except for the past 3 years, pretty historic organization.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning, a bunch of other guys.
Andrew
Luck. I'm not gonna go down the Colts rabbit hole.
No.
But obviously, rest in peace. I think you're right. I think the city loved him. Pat McAfee was, I think, emotional talking about him on the Pat McAfee show last few weeks.
Yeah.
Talked about how he came on the Pat McAfee show when they had like no listeners. So I think just overall football guy, love ball. So rest in peace. Other than that, I got nothing.
The new Protector of the Year award that's coming for the awards. But yeah.
Come up with a better name.
Protector, you think? I mean, why can't you find a legendary old lineman to name it after? I'm sure there's some guys in the 80s or 90s. The Munez Award, like the guy from the Bengals or something. Like, I don't know. Figure it out.
How about the Richie Incognito Award?
Yeah.
Big boy Richie. Hey, came out it was all false. Let me tell you. This guy, might have been a bit of an asshole. Did I like him when he was on the Bills? Yeah,
he did. He was a perfect Bills Mafia O-lineman.
That's an O-lineman's O-lineman. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Gotta love the boys up front, the boys in the trenches. Name it after someone. Protector of the Year Award. I get it.
I'm sure they'll change it. I think they want to get something in the books. I'm sure they'll find something else. But yeah.
Kelsey Award. Even Offensive Lineman of the Year. Kelsey Award.
Yeah.
Name it after, like, Jason Kelsey, amazing center, also does a ton of stuff for the city of Philadelphia. His wife does a ton of stuff for, I believe, the Autism Foundation or something. I don't want to get it wrong, but they do a ton to give back.
Yeah.
Name it after something like that. Like, there's a ton of stuff. You see that in the NHL all the time with like when you bring up these awards, I'm like, it makes me a little mad because I'm like, could you just name it the MVP? But it is cool, and it adds nostalgia and history to awards. You know what I mean? Like, I really
Or like, you know, I'm looking at like, I feel like you definitely know ball more than me, but I know some of the top like old linemen like Larry Allen, Cowboys,
Yeah.
Zim Munez, the Bengals, right? Like Jonathan Ogden. Like you can just name it after one of these guys, right? Like it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
yeah.
Or like, give a funny name. You know, the old linemen are going to love a big boy award or Trenches award or
Trenches would be cool. That'd be really
Trenches
cool.
award, you
That's a
know,
good
something
one.
like that.
Yeah.
Something to give you Hogs award would be fucking cool. A big Hoss award. Like there's so
Big
many
Hoss.
things that you can come up like,
Yeah.
and I think Protected of the Year, cool. I like it. Like but I think you could give it a little bit more. You know what I mean?
I agree. All right, you ready to head over to some golf to wrap it up here?
No.
All right. But quickly,
Stink.
Owen actually commented on our podcast. We get comments on YouTube, but not much on Spotify, but we got one. And they said, when will you guys talk about the Argos? They are the only team that seems to bring titles to Toronto.
Okay.
Wait. Hold on.
Okay.
But I was like, who the fuck is calling? Because we're beginners. We're slowly getting more and more viewers. I was like, who the fuck is commenting? I'm like, it's my family. Then I look at the title or the name. I don't want to say the name, but like it's something pest control. And I'm like, it's definitely Keith. It's 100% Keith.
Was it Keith?
I don't know. I'm gonna ask him next time I see him. But it has pest control in the name, and he recently has been liking our posts. I'm like, it has to be him.
Okay. Real quick shout out. Don't want to out him. Love the guy.
Yeah.
Texted me right after the Leafs lost.
He texted me too, and I just immediately got bummed. And as soon as I walked in on Prague delivery day, he's like, "Sup, Brian? Go Leafs!" I was so pissed. But no, he's the best.
We want to talk about the Argos real quick. Now, I love the CFL. Huge Tigers fan, always have been, always will be. Another team that always lets me the fuck down. How about, and it's only preseason, 24-16 win over the Argos on Saturday, last night. No one blows but the Argos. The Argos suck. I cannot stand them. I hate them for real. Might hate them more than any NFL team ever. They are a good team. They have won a lot of great cups. There's only 9 teams in the CFL. People may not be super interested in CFL talk, but let me tell you, I'm going to be adding in CFL talk throughout the CFL season. The Ticats are looking pretty good. Got some new additions this year. Kenny Lawler, big-time receiver. Bo Levi Mitchell, pretty good quarterback. Wanted to test out the NFL. CFL might be back in my book. I was off the CFL for a few years. Going to be going to Ticats games. I hate the Argos, and it probably was Keith because Keith used to bug me all the fucking time about being a Ticats fan. Every single person I work with right now is an Argos fan. There was a guy on Friday who was telling me he was going to the game, pissing me off a little bit, and I looked at him. I was like, buddy, no one blows but the Argos. Fuck off. No, I love the CFL. We got to get out to a game.
We will. And I could promise you, I don't think I've looked across, and I don't think I've seen a single podcast that talks about the CFL. So we can definitely bring up the CFL. You're gonna run the table for the talk in the CFL, which is fine.
That's a market we could run into.
Yeah. But it's gonna be all you. But that's fine. All right, let's wrap things up here with golf. Didn't watch a lot of it. I was pretty busy this weekend. I was watching a lot of the hockey, but Charles Schwab
in the
Classic.
club.
Oh yeah, I was
in the club, sweaty in the club.
Sweating right now. It's not, and it's more embarrassing when you leave the club and it's a bit brighter and people just see you drenched in sweat,
glistening. You're under yellow street, like glistening.
Like, what the fuck is this guy? What was he doing
fuck
inside
is this
there?
ogre?
Didn't need it. Didn't need it.
Sorry.
All right. I am now 11-6 against this stupid fuck in our golf.
You know, it's bad
PGA.
when my forehead veins start popping out. Anyway, yeah, I suck at picking PGA Tour players to win.
I just farted, by the way. I'm hoping to cut down on camera, on mic, but if not, I want the world to know.
Well, no, the ladies and gents aren't going to know. Like, there's any ladies that listen to our podcast, but we started the podcast off with a fart, too, so.
That's what we got to do. All right, so yeah, I chose Scotty, Siwoo, Tommy Fleet. Scotty and Tommy Fleet both finished like top 5. See, I think you said before we started recording, this is probably our first ever golf draft where no one missed the cut. Which maybe we can go back, but I think you're right. I don't think
all 6 players. I think it's the first one.
Yeah, I think you're right. And you did a solid team. Actually, Tom Kim, your annual Canadian, Adam Svensson.
He played a lot better than I thought he was going to.
He did well, 3 under, even. I don't know how he played today. I think
he finished overall even. I think he finished even overall.
I mean, I think all our guys actually played pretty good, but I'm now 11-6. Woot.
I have first pick.
And doesn't seem like it matters.
Scotty, fuck you. I think this is one of the first times I picked Scotty ever.
I was gonna say because I picked him for the Masters.
Yeah, well, that's because I was never going against Rory, and it paid off. And you still owe me a case of beer.
Well, I won the PGA, so now we're even.
All right.
Shout out Ben Griffin though. He
played
second win of the year. I think he won the Zurich, the duos one. Is that I forget which one that is.
Yeah, that's the Zurich.
Yeah, so he's also like heavy on TikTok. I remember following him when he just kind of started, and he's been pretty on social media. Good player, having a great year. Good for him.
He won today with a 1 over round.
Yeah, I mean Schmid. I think it's Schmid. 2 over. Colley made a run, 3 under, and Fleetwood and Scheffler, they were just kind of steady. 2 under, 1 under. I really thought Fleetwood was going to come back. I mean, you can't say a bad thing about Tommy Fleetwood, and I'm hoping he's going to win. He's going to win a tournament. He's going to win
one on tour.
He's going to win. I just don't know when it is, but you got to think he's going to win at some point. But I don't know in history, but you got to think in the last 20 years, he's probably the best player to never win a tournament. Maybe I'm way off on that, but I can't think of another guy today who hasn't won a tournament for how good he is. How many top 5s and top 10s he has, and not just majors and tournaments alone. Yeah. So Memorial, you got Scotty. Very packed field here. This must be a signature event, right? The Memorial?
Yeah, it is.
I'll go Xander. I think he's going to bounce back after his mediocre performance at the PGA. And Rory backed out last minute. I think he was going to be in it, but I think he backed out of it for some reason. Hopefully we see him at the Canadian Open, which will be the following one, which I'm fired up for. But who do you got?
No, sorry. It's just because if you miss a certain amount of
signatures, right?
Yeah, you're in trouble. But it says Rory won't be punished. Of course he won't. He's amazing. Okay. He's the best person to ever live. See, who'd you take?
Xander.
All right. Give me.
I think I know who I'm going to pick.
Give me Max Homa.
Yeah, I think he had some good rounds at the PGA. Obviously, he blew up in round 4. Again, his best golf right now is good. He had potential. I'm going to go with Captain America. I'm going to go with Keegan Bradley. He's been playing some very solid golf. Not like winning golf, but he's making cuts. He's getting top 20s. People are hinting he could be the first playing captain in like 100 years. I don't think he'll do that. I think America is so loaded. I don't think he'll play, but he's playing very solid golf.
If he does that,
I don't think
easiest way to never be captain again.
Yeah. Because he was already people were already, curious why he was named captain. I love it just from Bob DeSwart's side and how emotional he was when he was left off last time and when he lost the prior. So I love him.
My dad hates him.
Why?
He plays slow.
Is he a slow paced guy?
A little. I've tried to get the big boy back on the train, but I just don't think that train's ever leaving the station.
Hey, when he's all right. But yeah, I got Keegan. He's playing some really. He won't be playing captain, but he has been playing some really good golf. So I don't know.
You know who's in it this week? Give me Captain Canada.
Captain who? Corey God. There he does. Captain Canada, baby.
Let me tell you, Corey, if you ever listen to the Buds Mafia podcast, I love some swing tips, brother.
I'm a DM. I'm asked for. I want to. So obviously we're still a young podcast. Obviously this is our 20th episode, but I would like to start doing some interviews now too, and maybe I'll just DM every person I know and just get a good old Corey on. I'm sure he listens. I
see if I can get one of my buddies who I played football with, who's a two times Grey Cup champion.
There you go.
Dude, first year in the league, Grey Cup. Gotta love it.
Easy. Okay, who am I going to go with? It's a good field. I want to pick someone new here. I kind of have a healthy lead against you. I'll go. I'll go someone new. I'm going to go JT.
Oh, yeah, someone new.
Yeah.
Someone new. Gotta love it. I bet you he misses the cut.
Yeah, he missed a cut of PGA, so.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited. I gotta get back to the range, dude. I gotta play some G. I haven't played the best this year so far.
I'm going out this week before work.
May have to just call in sick one day and do that.
Okay, well, it's not like anyone at Insight listens to our podcast other than maybe Keith. So if you want to call in sick, let me know.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Here, we'll do our lock and bets back to back here.
We're changing the name from lock of the week to maybe of the week until one of us win one.
I think I think this record's actually off too. I think it's actually 3. I don't think I changed it. So it's no, it is right. Yeah. So it's gone to the point where we may just stop doing this in general.
Yeah, and at this point, I'm just wasting money. I got Jalen Brunson 25 points. He's already got 7. Pascal Siakam 25 points. He's got 2. That's shit. Jalen Brunson 7 assists. He's got 1. Pascal Siakam 7 rebounds. He's got 1. $5 payout 55. 3 minutes left in the first quarter. So we got some time. It's tied 18-18.
I will say I've been watching the conference finals and it has been good basketball. Like I'm surprised Indiana's up 2, but I am pumped to watch it.
Let me tell you, the Minnesota OKC series though has just been blowout.
Dude, Minnesota won by 40 or almost 50 last night.
It was ridiculous.
We were out in Toronto before we went to the club. We were watching some of the sports, and it's like it was awesome. We were at Dublin, calling the place that we like going to in Toronto. And we're watching the Florida game side by side with the Minnesota game, and then they both just turned horrible in the third, and then the whole Timberwolves game was like, both these games kind of suck to watch right now. But yeah, I got Brunson over 31.5. Brunson over 7.5 assists, and I got Brunson over 2.5 threes made. $10 to win 40. I'll go to my bet the farm. I want to win so bad for this. I got Panthers sweeping. I had Edmonton going up 3-1 money line. I got the Knicks winning tonight plus 100. I had the Timberwolves plus 130 winning game 4. Then rounding out with some baseball, I got the Red Sox over the Brewers, Cubs over the Rockies, Orioles over the Cardinals, and I got the Rangers beating the Blue Jays. $5 to win, 377.
Well, I got the Thunder tomorrow over the Timberwolves.
Nice.
SGA to have 25 points. Anthony Edwards to have 25 points. The Pacers, I currently have them over the Knicks. They're currently up 20-18. I also have Jalen Brunson, 25 points. Karl Anthony Towns, 20 points. He currently has 0, so he needs to pick it up. And Pascal to have 20 points. And then I took the Panthers, Matthew Tkachuk, 1 point. Sam Bennett, 2 shots on goal. Andrei Svechnikov, 2 shots on goal. Then I took the Oilers and Mikko Rantanen to score a goal. $5, payout $1,600.
There you go. Let's see. Penalty box, I'm just going the Carolina Hurricanes. Like, just figure it out. Win a game. For the love of God, win a game. Like, it's crazy.
Good penalty box.
Oh, here we go.
I have a real good penalty.
All right.
Okay. So, obviously, the whole thing with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese happened this week. That's been all over social media. That's the only thing that's going on in the sports world. It's not like there's 2 crazy playoff series going on or 2 crazy playoff runs going on, basketball and NHL. But Ryan Clark, I don't think I've ever not liked a sport. Like, there's sports commentators where you're like, good Lord, this kind of sucks. For him to go on a rant, post it, do I think RG3 can be corny? Yeah. For him to continuously bring up the fact that RG3 has a white wife, and that's the reason, and obviously that's not the whole reason why he was saying that RG3 can't say that Angel Reese obviously hates Caitlin Clark. But it's like, and then, like, it's just wild. I don't know if you saw the entire Twitter thread, but RG3 responded to Ryan Clark saying that, he has a white wife. He would make jokes about milk all the time and how milk's his favorite because it's white. Blah, blah, blah. RG3 responds, says Ryan Clark took it too far, brought up my wife, blah, 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 whole bunch of other shit. Let me just read what Ryan Clark said, because it might take me a minute to find, so give me 1 second. But this response to what RG3 had said, and it was hilarious. This Oh, well, okay, here we go. First of all, he apologized, which it is. So as I end this, I need to apologize to my family. Until this week, I did not realize how much you defend me and deal with the fallout of my stuff. This week brought it all to a head. Yanka, one of his children, has been dragged the entire week, and Jaden, who we raised in our home, has been used as a pawn. Jaden is his interracial son, I believe, who was then people started going at Ryan Clark because saying that, you have a white son. Why are you had a son with a white woman. Why are you hopping on RG3? And whatever. He said, I'll do better. And so he continues to go on about how he needs to be better and blah, 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 blah. I really hope he didn't delete the tweets, because if he did, I will be very upset. He basically said, bruh, to RG3. I don't think I've ever seen a person tweet this much. My Lord. Holy fuck. All right, this might not even be worth it. I mean, he's in my penalty box right now for fucking how many times he tweets. He's got 7 tweets about the Savannah Bananas. Who gives a fuck? Holy shit. I might not care anymore. Basically, long story short, his tweet said, holy fuck, man. This is unbelievable how many tweets this guy fucking has. I mean, you are a sports company. Anyway, long story short, he said RG3's corny as fuck. He wasn't bringing up his wife's color because that was a problem. He was bringing up how he was corny and this, that, and the other, and how he saved him on Monday Night Football broadcast because he was corny as hell and everyone hated talking to him and everything like that. First of all, going through your Twitter, figure it out. You want to talk about someone who's corny. Second of all, this is not the first time this guy continually has horrible takes or brings up the worst shit. And the amount of people who continue to make this whole story about race and everything like that, like, yes, there are black players, there are white players. You coinciding it together 24/7 and making it this giant thing. And then for Ryan Clark to take it and make it about how RG3 has a white wife is bonkers to me. I just don't understand it. I'm not even going to comment on the Angel Clark, Caitlin Reese thing. I don't really care about basketball whatsoever. That's not my fucking field. But for him to take this scenario where all RG3 said was, you can tell that Angel Reese actually hates Caitlin Clark, which from the play and from the way that everything has kind of gone on over the last few years between these two players, you could make that argument. I think that's a fair argument.
I think 100% Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. I think she's almost been kind of open about that. Like, I don't think that's
exactly. I think it's a fair. And then for him to extrapolate off that and be like, RG3, you have a white wife. You're fucking horrible piece of shit, and you're corny as hell.
You're a loser,
dude. Get your house in order. Like RG3, yes, might be corny, maybe one of the happiest people, and consistently is in like posting about how his wife is beautiful and how he loves her, and you should be celebrating the fact that a man and a woman can come together and have a union like that instead of shitting on him because he is an interracial marriage. Crazy. Unbelievable. Penalty box. 5-minute major.
All right. That was a good one.
That was a little long-winded. I'm sorry. That just made me mad.
No, it's good. It's getting late here over Dell's household. It's good talking to you.
I don't got to work till 3:45 tomorrow, so I'm wired.
Have a beer. Let's see. When next time we record, I mean, honestly, we could be talking about the like a final preview. Like, honestly, it's going to be exciting. I think no matter what, I think one of the series will be over, or both series will be over. Yeah, I got Florida sweeping, if not maybe a gentleman sweep. And I'm more confident, obviously, Dallas coming back than Carolina, but the way Edmonton's looked and the way Dallas has not really looked and their injuries, I get Edmonton closing it out and be 5 or 6 in my opinion. And I think if everything goes to Seneca Finals, we're going to have our good old friend Emerson come back on, hopefully with better lighting. I might
just buy him a fucking microphone. That's horrible. Horrible.
Yeah, man, it's good talking to you. Go follow Buds Mafia on YouTube and Spotify, or where you got all your podcasts, as well as follow Buds and Pucks on Instagram, Twitter, X, TikTok, and all that good stuff.
And Jackson, we still hate Taylor Gooch. Still hate Taylor.
We still hate Taylor Gooch. Stupid name, stupid guy. That's what we're going to say. All right. Talk to you later, Jackson.
Cheers, brother.
Fakes left, now taken off. Gonna run for it.